Okay, we're here today at West Sands at the University of St. Andrews with Put People First protests. There's over 300 people here today protesting the G20 summit. Several more than were at the rally yesterday for NATO Scotland. The issues that they brought to the table concern bringing access to the impoverished nations and to help climate change initiatives. They'll be hosting a summit later on today, an alternative summit to the G20 meeting, where there will be speakers from all over the world discussing policies that should be implemented by the organization. Okay, can you explain to me what Put People First is trying to accomplish here today?
Well, we're here today to send a clear message to the G20 finance ministers who are meeting in St. Andrews to tell them, you know, the time for putting your head in the sand is long past. We want clear action from them. So what we're asking for essentially is investment in green jobs. We want reform of the international financial institutions that continue to put profit before people. And crucially, with the UN Climate Summit in Copenhagen next month, we need to see serious amounts of new money on the table to help people in developing countries to adapt to and crucially survive the effects of climate change.
Well, we decided to come as a group of Edinburgh students just because we thought, well, no one was really coming and the whole conference has been quite secret, well, no one really knows much about it, so we just thought it was a good opportunity to get a whole bunch of Edinburgh students together and also try and make sure that they understand that there's other issues that are important to people, like international development, climate, sort of justice, so jobs, justice and climate is the main thing people first are doing. So we decided just to kind of combine with their theme and just come and do our own thing, or join in with them to do our own thing as well.
We come together because we believe that it's part of the core part of our belief as Christians that justice and respect for human dignity has to be the centre of decision making. We want decisions made that don't continue to exacerbate the cycle of exploitation that there is of the third world, but are actually just and fair for everyone on the planet.
It's really sad. We didn't know the march was going on. We stumbled upon it by chance, and we would have come if we had known more about it.
Yeah, definitely. We were just heading for a walk on the beach, but we thought we'd come and find out more about what was going on.
I did sustainable development at St. Andrews, and I'm for the creation of more green jobs.
From a sort of geography point of view as well, I'm definitely all for, well, governments taking sort of active policies, like the person was just saying, actually giving amounts of money they're definitely going to use, making sort of active, I don't know, things that they're going to do about climate change and not just kind of sit back and be like, oh, it's not a problem.
Well, I know, but he's still like a member of the press.
Act now to transfer resources from the north to the south of this globe for a just solution enabling the countries of the south to adopt sustainable development. And don't just say you're going to do it, say how much you're going to spend and say when you're going to spend it. The last words that we need to hear today from the G20 are business as usual. The very ground we can feel moving under our feet this morning is groaning at the prospect that we will not change our ways.
Impact Aid is here to remind them to keep the promise that they made at Gleneagles in 2005 to have universal access to antiretroviral medicines for all that needed it. So we are here to remind them that that's what they promised in 2005 and they promised to have it by 2010, which is coming up fast, and we want them to keep that promise.
In the future it's about getting Edinburgh students more sort of active and more engaged about coming to these sort of events. So that's the main aim, is making it easy for students to sort of make their voice heard.
No, right. Because we're desperately looking for accommodation. Or how much?
We've just had announced in Dundee a £30 million cut to the city's budget, and at a time when you're in recession, you rely on public services more than under normal circumstances. And to be cutting public services at this time is going to mean a double whammy for the people that rely on those services.
Marx is banging to discuss.
We're at the second march of the day here, or the Counter G20 Summit. There are about 30 people here with the NATE G20 group, which means No to G20. It's a collection of students and residents that don't think the G20 Summit should be held here in St. Andrews. We'll be taking a 40-minute march from here to the Fairmont Hotel where the summit is located.
The G20 is a collection of mainly students but also some residents who love St. Andrews but hate the G20. We're here to oppose their undemocratic positions and their damaging policies and hopefully bring about some change.
I'm a member of the Socialist Workers' Party. People around us. We're Dundee branch. We're here because we're opposing the G20's presidency in St. Andrews. And we feel that they cannot get away with coming here without there being resistance to that.
For me, it's mainly about the whole injustice of having a very undemocratic system where 20 individuals, not all of whom have been directly elected to their positions, are deciding the financial policies for the rest of the world, which causes so many problems for us.
No one's listening, well, government-wise, I mean. Yeah. And I think the more noise we make, the more we talk about it, the more people will become involved in it. In every protest, if we get one person who hasn't joined us before does, that suits me. And that's really what I want. And of course, I feel great pain and sorrow at his death, but mostly I feel anger. Not at the Afghani people, but at the current and previous administrations of Great Britain and the United States of America. The presidents and prime ministers of these two nations are responsible for the premeditated murders of thousands of men, women and children, and also for the maiming of considerably more.
Fight back! We say fight back! We say fight back! The enemy is nothing!
Our councils have been asked simply to pass on these cuts. The cuts that are coming from where? Coming from public sector workers? No, they're coming because the bankers and the gamblers that run the stock exchange have been gambling with our bloody money.
Shame on them!
To hell with what the impact of that is on ordinary people's lives at a grassroots. We need to stop bailing out the bankers and stop paying billions on wars that nobody wants.
They couldn't get it reduced.
You could have shut it off.
If they said that, it would have been safe.
Everybody here wants to go all the way up there, say yeah! Yeah! Again, yeah! Whose streets? Our streets! Whose future? Our future!
Okay, we're here outside East Sands in St. Andrews with the more politically charged protesters heading to the Fairmont Hotel, which is about a mile and a half from here. The police have just decided to allow them to head there and we'll escort them over. They're hoping to stand outside the hotel where the G20 will be meeting. With the University of St. Andrews, I'm Michele, Giovia.
Unemployment,